last day of EVS 23 here in Anaheim, California. I'm standing next to the Inertia motorcycle, and also Aaron. We just saw you taking the bike for a spin a little bit, and you're going to teach me how to ride it before I step on board, and our viewers will get a little taste of what it's like to start and then drive one of these bikes.
Sure, no problem. Okay, the bike is designed to be very simple to operate. There's no clutch or shifting mechanism, but all of the other controls will be standard to what you'd find on a normal motorcycle. The bike is fairly simple to turn on. Just start with the tank button here. When you push that button, the bike will wake up, the dash will turn on, and you can use all your lights at that point, but you won't be ready to drive until you push the throttle button here. This switch is just a safety feature to allow the rider to safely take off, so that because it's quiet, you can't apply throttle to the bike right after you turn it on. So before you're ready to ride, hit this button, wait a few seconds, you'll see lights flashing, and that tells you that you're at a stop but the bike is armed. So that's how to turn the bike on. To turn it off, when you're done, just hit this button, hit the tank button, and the bike is off.
Simple as can be, really.
Yep, it's very simple, very simple.
All right, and can you tell us a little bit what it's like to drive? You said you've put maybe the most miles of anyone on these bikes here. Mm-hmm. You know, what kind of rides have you done with it? What are some of your better memories cruising down the streets with these?
It's a very fun experience. It feels like the wind is pushing you. You don't hear any sound of an engine or anything like that, and it's a very free experience, effortless propulsion, and the bike handles very well. It's very fun to corner and throttle out of those corners, so you can have a lot of fun. A lot of people wouldn't expect that from an electric motorcycle, but it really does perform well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to testing it out. Well, Aaron, you were totally right about the feeling of the wind when you're riding this thing. Obviously, for a couple reasons, didn't want to go too fast, too far, but this little parking lot experience was excellent.
Great.
It's a great feeling bike. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but something like this with zero emissions, you know, especially if you can power it by renewable electricity, that's a motorcycle I consider owning. The question, of course, is you know, how much it would cost and all that stuff. So, what can you tell us about some specs and some prices here?
Well, initially the bike will cost $11,995 to own one. The range of the bike, 35 to 45 miles, and that really depends on how you drive it, but typically we see an average of 40 miles. And that's for normal traffic use, where we're keeping up with or outpacing traffic in the city. The bike has lithium iron phosphate batteries from Valence Technologies. We have a 72-volt system. It's a 3.1 kilowatt-hour pack. We also have a permanent magnet brush DC motor, which directly drives the wheel with a chain. Mm-hmm. There's no transmission, or like I said before, there's no shifting of gears. It's just one speed, so essentially it's an automatic. The top speed is about 53 miles per hour as it's geared, and that's really the best. We chose that gearing because it's the best combination between performance and range, and so we didn't want to really sacrifice any performance of the bike. I mean, to a degree. We wanted to keep really fun handling so that it's easy for new motorcyclists, but also really fun for experienced motorcyclists. We've kept the weight down. It's just 280 pounds, so very light motorcycle, easy to turn and handle. But you know, again, keeping it very easy to use. There's no exposed hot mechanical parts. It's not a very complicated machine to use. It's very easy to just swing a leg over the seat and go. So very narrow bike. and easy to handle for people that are thinking about a motorcycle, haven't owned one before, but they want a nice green transportation solution. And,
yeah, I've noticed that, the first time I sat on it, it didn't feel overwhelming at all. I haven't ridden a motorcycle in many years, so it wasn't something that I was afraid to have, under me and, unprotected moving forward. You said there's 4 of these bikes right now that are up and working?
yes.
And so we're still very obviously in the prototype stage. We were talking a little bit about going very easy on the throttle when you take off, because there's a lot of power in an electric motor, obviously, at 0 RPM. What kind of things are you looking to change between now and once you get into the production versions?
That is a big one. We're working on a custom throttle map with our controller supplier, such that the takeoff is very smooth. That's really important because that's a person's first impression of the bike, and you're going to be in that situation several times. So by nature, the electric motors have lots of torque at low RPM, so that's where you really want to ease into the throttle. And so we're going to do that in the map so that it's very easy to use, for the first time someone hops on the bike.
That's kind of the main issue then, going forward?
Yeah, we've got several development things that are going to happen. We're going to go to an aluminum extruded frame of the bike. We're going to make some changes in terms of going to cast wheels and things like that for production, but the bike is only going to get better and more reliable and more easy to use. So those will be, but primarily we're going to be changing the throttle map and also some of the features on the dash. We hope to have the ability to have some interaction, the user and the bike. So we're going to allow the user to change settings in the controller through the dash between a sport setting, economy setting, and then some custom or medium setting to reflect the type of driving they want to do. There's also going to be the ability to collect GPS data while you're riding and upload that information to your computer, and you can map your routes out on Google Maps or something like that, and actually share that information with users on a forum, and compare your bike settings and your typical routes and your range and things like that. So we really want to create a community around the inertia.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for letting AutoblogGreen ride this morning.
You're welcome.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you.